What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I kind of have a passionate rant for you guys. I mentioned this over on Twitter when the rumors started circulating, and I should make it clear, at the time I'm recording this video, Venom still technically isn't delayed. Now, maybe it happens tonight, today, tomorrow, maybe before or right after you guys see this. Who really knows? But the general idea is that I've had enough of it. I really have. I've talked about movie theaters and movies and the delays before, but I've really had enough of it. I have. It really has. I love a lot of movies. I do. I know maybe from like the reviews that I choose to put up on the channel, you guys may think I hate every movie that I see, and recently that's a little bit more true. And just kidding. But overall, I love movies. I love the movie experience, and it's just, again, I've had it up to here with these companies deciding to move movies in general. So here's the idea. I don't think Venom 2 needed to move in the first place. That's my biggest argument that I have for Venom, is that moving it basically 3.5 weeks to get to the same day as Halloween, and then maybe Halloween moves. In fact, actually, that will probably be found out before you guys see this video. We'll probably know if that movie will be pushed or moved up or whatever, but we'll probably find that out. But if the move for Venom from October 15th to January, and we don't know the rumor date yet, but we do know the rumor is January it would move to. Why did you move it in the first place? Like 3.5 weeks, if you were just gonna move it another like 3 months after that. And at the end of the day, and I've said this, and there is some counter arguments or ways that maybe they've done this without I guess in response to the stuff around the world. Now, I don't say its name. I try to keep it very, very safe for YouTube purposes, but it's very clear, at least the first delay. The first delay from September, and I mean, I know it's been delayed like 3 other times, but like the September to October one, that was definitely for the stuff around the world. I think that's very stupid. We'll talk about that in a second. The second delay, I read it as kind of a move because of the stuff around the world. Again, there has been people, and again, I think they've made really good points on my Twitter and all that have said, well, maybe the first move was, but the second delay in this wave, right, was just to get it away from Halloween and kind of put it all on its own in January. If that's the reason, I guess I understand it. But again, that makes sense to me. If that's the reason, I'd be like, I'm not a fan of it, but like if that's what you're going to do. But don't move it from September in the first place. And there's really, besides Shang-Chi, which I believe would have been 3 weeks before. So you have Shang-Chi 3 weeks after is Venom 2. Trust me, Shang-Chi is not going to be bothering you 3 weeks after it's out. It's just flat out not. And I'm not dissing it, but it's just not going to do that. You know what I mean? The thing is, obviously they're going to say, well, we want as many people as possible to go see this movie. So here's the thing. Here's what makes all of just the stupidest thing ever. You're delaying it ultimately, whether the excuse is for, the stuff around the world or because you want to get away from Halloween, but, whatever it is, you're delaying it till January. And I don't know if you guys know this. Maybe maybe they don't watch like the Weather Channel, which I really don't, so maybe they don't either. But I don't know if you guys know this, but January is cold. January is commonly referred to as like a cold month. Not even just a cold month, but arguably, and I think statistically, the coldest month in the entire year, at least for, several places in the world. So, if I'm looking at it and I'm saying, September, just way too dangerous. There's the cases are just skyrocketing, which, I'm not going to go into, but, you have all of this stuff going on. We need to get this, we need to move it. The movies can't survive in theaters nowadays, which is a blatant lie and just a nice excuse that companies are coming up with. And I'll give you examples in a second. We can't do it. We need to push it. Well, where are we going to push it to? Well, let's push it 3, and even that delay was about as brain dead of a move as you could possibly make. So you're afraid of September 24th, which September is still generally a warm month. You're delaying it till mid-October when things start to happen, like October, November, December, like flu season, and cases are going to go, like all of that stuff. So you're delaying it to October. So that's your grand plan. You didn't think September is a good idea, so you moved it 3 weeks because magically things are just going to get better. And like, is that... And again, that's kind of separating yourself from whether you, like think it's really dangerous or don't think it's dangerous, or wherever your mindset is. It doesn't matter. The fact is that what I just said is the truth, right? So then you move it, but you also move it on the same day as Halloween. Now, again, I get they're not the same studio, but like you couldn't have moved it the week, and I think the week before is Bond, so maybe the week after. Why didn't you move it to the week after? Why would you put it on the same day? To what? Just then delay it another time? It makes zero sense. 0 cents. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life, that they thought originally September's too dangerous, but for some reason October is a lot more safe. And you know what's the safest out of all of those? Is January, the dead of winter, when people are definitely going to be more, even if you believe people are too afraid, or you don't believe people are afraid, January is when people probably will be the most afraid to probably go outside, just because, it's very easy to get sick in like December, January, February. It's so easy, right? And that's on a normal year. So like, it's hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious. The argument too, and this is, obviously I've centered this entire thing on Venom, but really it's a lot more than just Venom. These movies need to stop this, and they just need to swallow their pride, like suck it up and release. Here's the deal. And I said this to my friend yesterday, and I kind of feel like I'm coming around to, like I said it, but I'm coming around to it even more, like as the days go on. I really feel like this stuff around the world, while obviously a pretty bad thing, has helped in the way of, like, these movies, we're starting to see which ones are kind of worthy of people's money. Now, I've been waiting for this moment for many, many years, right? Because, all these movies that fail, or all these directors that just make horrible products, they immediately get a new deal to make another movie. Like, my favorite example, and I'll always kind of go back to this, is Charlie's Angels. I mean, and I didn't even, that movie is god-awful, right, from everything I guess we've seen. But, like, Elizabeth Banks, and I don't think she's a horrible, horrible person, or even, I mean, she's not a great actress, but, she's decent, I guess, in all aspects. But, she was the director of Charlie's Angels. That movie bombed, made no money, lost money, was god-awful. Literally, like, a week later, she announced, or somebody, or part of her publication, like, she had a new movie deal that she was going to direct a new. So, like, where are consequences for people in Hollywood? Stars that bomb their movies, they just get another role. Or writers, or directors, or producers, they just literally move on to the next thing. There doesn't ever seem to be any kind of consequences for, if you suck, for some reason, you just keep going. And that's been the case for many, because I guess at the end of the day, maybe they think that there's more money, at the very end of the road, and maybe they just have to get there. But what I think has happened over the last little while is we're starting to see the movies. Now, not every movie has been treated fairly, right? I'm not saying like every single good movie has proved it, and then every single bad movie has suffered in the box office. I'm sure there's kind of mismatches there as well. But I mean, like, even if you look at what the world seemingly wants right now from movies, is just like a decent time. You know what I mean? I'm not saying politics isn't allowed anymore. I think they need to stop shoving it down, movies' throats. But politics have their place. But I feel like where the world is in terms of what movies are doing good and bad, they want just big, dumb, and that's nothing against them, right? Big, dumb, fun movies, right? F9, people seemingly are forgetting this. F9 killed it. Now, it didn't make $1 billion. Like, I think F8 made $1 billion, F7 made $1 billion, F6 made, like, close. This one made, like, $680 million. I mean, that is spectacular. Like, why aren't we talking about that? That's spectacular, because that's a pretty darn amazing amount of money in a normal year. And then in a year like this, it's like, you can't really do better than that. You know what I mean? Now, yes, you could say, well, Alex, the ceiling is lower, I guess. But again, these stupid movies delaying themselves 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you think that they are like keeping that in consideration? Like, oh, well, we're just trying to get as many people into seats as we can, so you're delaying your movie till January? That's your brilliant. So, like, that argument of they're just waiting to get more people in, or to have more people, get what. And again, I'm not saying certain words, right? Like, that's ridiculous. That's not true. It's not true based off of all of their actions. But F9 did amazing. Godzilla vs. Kong, that was on HBO Max, and it still made a pretty decent chunk of money in theaters, and that was in March when things were still pretty bad and not a lot of people had the stuff that could protect you against it, like all this stuff. Like, I don't understand. I don't get it. Free Guy's doing awesome right now. It had one of the lowest drops a movie has seen in years from week 1 to week 2. Why? Because they're just, I wouldn't even say they're amazing. They're just fun. They're decent. They're good. They're something that people actually want to go out and see. if a movie only releases in theaters, that's the ultimate test, right? Because I think if these movies like Suicide Squad or The Suicide Squad, it obviously failed in theaters, but that's because it was literally on HBO. Like, I don't get why that's so hard to understand. It was on HBO Max. Now, why did it do so substantially less maybe than like Godzilla versus Kong? I don't know. Maybe it literally did do like there wasn't as much interest in it, but we know it killed it on HBO Max. The point is, if a movie comes out and it's only in theaters and it's just solid, you know what I mean? It's not going to force something down your throat. It's not going to bore you. It's not coming from like failure after failure after failure. It's just solid. It'll do fine. It'll do fine. You may lose a little money or you may break even. You may not be looking at some massive payday, but you're going to do pretty solid. And even for like a Venom 2, like, am I expecting it to be amazing? No. In fact, fun fact, I still haven't seen the first one, but I heard it's, some people hated it, but like some people think it's just stupid fun. That's fine. And that movie, by the way, made a lot of money. Now, will Venom 2 make that much money? No, it just won't, because I think people, maybe some people won't want to see the same dumb fun twice in a row, and that's okay, right? But I mean, if the movie is just flat out not horrible, has like okay word of mouth, like as long as word of mouth is okay and it doesn't kill it, then I think it'll be fine, because it's only in theaters. There's no other way of seeing it. It's gonna do decent. It really will. I don't see how the movie, if they feel confident in it, couldn't make $350, $400 million. Now, maybe that's not enough for them, but I don't know. Will they ever make $500, $600, $700 million? No. Even like Bond, thank God they finally, have declared that like it's coming out. It's coming out that October, 3rd or something, that early October segment. It's coming out then, whether people like it or not. Fine, because they've lost so much money on it. They just need to get it, out there. Like, that movie may absolutely just bomb because it's just not going to be good. If that Bond movie is just solid, I think, again, word of mouth will help it. I think it could hit $300, $400, $500 million if it's good. If it's just trash, if Bond isn't even in it, right? They do a terrible job with Daniel Craig. If that stuff happens, oh my God, then yeah, of course it's gonna do terrible. But you know what? They'll blame the stuff around the world. They won't blame their product. That's one of the most infuriating things that's happened over the last little while, is not just, are these companies scared and their actions don't match like the excuses they're giving us, but then they'll blame still the wrong thing. So, I was saying earlier, like, people weren't facing consequences earlier. That's, I think, getting fixed a little bit, but overall, still, they're blaming something else. If the movie fails, they're just going to blame, the stuff. They're going to blame the fact that not enough people can go out to see it versus, well, maybe people didn't want to go out to see it. Maybe people didn't want to see your movie. They can't accept that because their egos are up here and they think we're all down here, right? That's the situation. It makes me, I don't pace back and forth on this. I don't like go back. I don't cry myself to sleep about this, but it's something that just is so laughable. It's made me so detached from all of this stuff. Really, like, when a movie comes out, if it's something I want to see, I'll see it. If not, I truly do not care. Long gone are the days where I used to go see, I think like 3 years in a row, I saw like 35 movies, each year. I mean, I would go almost weekly to see a new movie, okay? Or I would see a movie like 2 or 3 times. I was crazy, okay? I'm not like that anymore. I'm not going to support this. I'm going to pick movies that I feel like, that are solid. And here's the thing. I really feel like there's a lot more people that are becoming like me, as we're seeing. It is a raw, thesis or hypothesis that people are kind of just speaking with their wallets a little bit more, that money is tight. Maybe they don't want to go out. You need something actually tantalizing in order to get you out there, and there's just not enough of it in movies now. Like, Wonder Woman would probably not have been enough if it came out only in theaters. Black Widow obviously was not enough, right? It just, like, for a Marvel movie, it did horrible. And these companies need to wake up, or it's only going to get worse. I don't think, if things disappear and everybody's just back to living a normal life, which maybe never happens, but, if that does happen and everybody goes back to being, 100% and everything goes back to being 100%, I don't think people just immediately arrive in droves at movie theaters to support any garbage product put up there. I think people are going to still be maybe not massively more picky, but a little bit more picky than they were before. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I know this is a long video, but I just had to kind of get my thoughts out there. Let me know if you agree, disagree, all that stuff is totally cool. Let me know in the comments. Make sure, as always, you guys are subscribed to this channel hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. If you guys want to follow me on any of my other social media, Twitter, I have a second YouTube channel. We also have Patreon and YouTube memberships. All the links for those are in the description below. Okay, thank you for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. I hope to see you all on the next video.